So the story so far is developing in a very interesting way, with each chapter taking the time to build up the new characters that we now are starting to appreciate even more. In the latest chapters, we see Asa building a new friendship with Yuko, the girl that is a member in the Devil Hunter Club, and all it took for these two characters to bond together was that weird and funny shoe situation. Creating this kind of circumstances is one of the things that makes me appreciate the most in Fujimoto's writing. I love how these panels where Asa chases after Yuko manage to convey feelings of confusion, hilariosity, absurdity and wholesomeness all at the same time. But Asa and Yuko seem to have more in common than the same shoe, because both of their parents have been killed by devils, and this appears to be their mutual motivation to become devil hunters, even though I wouldn't put much weight on that, because Asa is literally forced by the word devil to join the Devil Hunter Club since her life depends on it. And on the other hand, Yuko looks like she gets a kick out of looking like an avenging hero and taking this whole hunting devils situation like an exciting adventure. Another interesting development in chapter 101 occurred during the conversation between Asa and the War Devil. Beside this new rule that the power of the weapons that the War Devil builds actually depend on the affection that Asa has towards the person which will be used, but I also found really intriguing that this powerful devil, which is also one of the horsemen, was affected by the fact that Asa wasn't comfortable with calling its name. I really like how the panels established to convey the reflective moment when the word devil was actually contemplating its own name. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but since this devil doesn't know how to interact with humans, then this might be the first time it is using a human body as a host. And that comes with the experience of living a daily life. And since now the word devil is forced to adapt to these daily circumstances, and by attaching itself with a human name like Yuro, it might feel like it is being reborn, and thus beginning a new step in building a new identity, independent of the previous one. Another thing that shows us that this is the first time that the word devil is using a human body as a host is when it found out that it cannot take over Asa's body when she is crippled with fear. And having already an idea of Asa's anxious character, this new condition will probably be a problem for the war devil in the future. I have been thinking during these latest chapters that for being one of the strongest devils that ever existed, Yuro doesn't seem that ruthless or evil. Well, it doesn't hesitate to scare or even pressure Asa from time to time, but until now it hasn't done anything devastating to her. I would even dare to say that sometimes it looks like it is actually concerned about Asa. At the end of chapter 101, Fujimoto brings back the bad devil, and since devils never actually die, unless they are consumed by the Chainsaw Man, it makes me happy seeing returning devils being put forward into the new setting of the Part 2 storyline. But talking about returning characters, I think that this would be a perfect time to see the Bad Devil versus Denji for a second time. This would actually be a great opportunity for Denji to enter the scene. But nevertheless, I also don't want to get too ahead of myself. While reading these chapters, a lot of theories were going through my head, but I don't want to elaborate all of them in this video. First, because I might be flat out wrong, but also because I don't want to rush too much into the possibilities of the future events, and it would be a better thing to let the story breathe and move in its own pace. But now I want to hear your thoughts and theories on these latest chapters, so make sure to comment them down below. If you stayed till the end of this video, I want to thank you for your attention, and with that, I will see you in the next one.